Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and berries, how you doing there? How are you today? Well, I'm a little bit late, and we're having a hard time getting Wes connected here. It seems like a StreamYard issue because I sent him fresh links, and he's going to get his iPad, and perhaps that will work. But in the interim, let me throw this up here. This is what we're talking about today. Wes is he used to be in real estate, and I think he's retired from real estate. But this is my friend Wes, and he's also a numerologist. So if I don't know much about numerology. So there's not a lot I can share with you other than I know the guy. And we're going to be doing another episode of this when I'm with Casey on Monday nights or Monday afternoon or mornings. Monday at 11 a.m. With Casey Peak. And but for some reason, Wes is not connecting right now, and I have no idea what it is, why it's not doing so. It's beyond me. I don't know. But he said, okay. I'm not seeing you. Huh. So I'm not sure what it is. Anyways, so my friend Wes, let me give you his website, and you'll be able to check him out. This is his web address right here. So unfortunately, I'm not able to get connected with him, which is pretty frustrating and make me behind schedule and all that stuff. I'm sure there's a way through this, and he's going to try and get his iPad, and that might a different device, perhaps that might bring him through. So he's working on it. I'm in contact with him right now via text with the phone. So at least that's working. I know he's not, I know he's actually trying. So anyways, have any of you studied numerology before? It's an interesting modality. My wife actually worked with Wes and on numerology. And it's actually, I've done the disc profile and the Myers-Briggs and stuff like that. It's actually been the closest of any like astrology readings or anything like that. I've played with that kind of stuff too. But the numerology was really right on a lot of the things that I thought were my personality. So hopefully we'll get Wes here. If not, we're going to cut this short. And if you could take note, and if you have a time Monday at 11 a.m. Central Time, we'll be going live with me and Casey Peak from the Authentic Reflection Studio, or your Authentic Reflection Studio over in New Hope. We do it right in the studio. So I'm not sure what to tell you. So in the interim, I'll show you some of the other stuff that I'm working on, see if I can dig some of this stuff up. I've reconnected with my friend Nick Halverson, and Nick is a real estate developer in Costa Rica. He lives here in Minneapolis, but he's got a project over in Costa Rica he's working on. And I just saw Wes came in. So those are the good works. Put Costa Rica on hold. Let me go get Wes, and I'll be right back. There we go. Let me go get Wes. There he is.
Gosh, there we are.
You did it. We don't know what's going on.
No, it's too crazy. It's a crazy day here.
Well, I haven't seen you for a while.
I know. It's been probably a couple of years, right?
Yeah, you're looking good.
Thank you.
Pre-COVID.
Yeah, I see you on there all the time.
I've got things out there. Yes, I do. And
You
sometimes
do,
you
yeah.
got to deal with these technical difficulties. I'm not sure
Oh
why
my,
it wasn't
I
working.
can't believe it. It's I went on there 3 different times with different. Anyway, here we are.
Well, that's the way this stuff works. And that's, I've been in the event business where people get connected with people and you can actually shake a hand, give a hug kind of thing. This internet stuff is just so unpredictable and
It
out of
really is.
our control.
Yeah, we're learning new tools, and we're not at the age where we learn quickly.
Well, it doesn't matter if you learn quickly, it's not going to work anyways.
Thank
Right?
you. Thank you.
Because you never know. We could be doing this tomorrow and it's just they change the rules on us. So that's the way it is. Anyways.
Yep, very true.
So what popped in was I've been reconnecting with my friend Nick Halverson. He's got a development in Costa Rica. So the whole real estate thing popped into my head.
Okay.
And real estate popped into my head after the COVID thing, because when COVID happened, it demolished the event industry. So I went into a free fall wondering, what should I do? And real estate, people are still doing it. They're still moving into houses.
Yeah, they are. And they
And I've
love
been
it.
working with my friend Casey, and we've been tapping into the spiritual realm of things. And that's when I started thinking, how does real estate fall into the spiritual end of things? And then you started popping up with the numerology thing. That's why I had to reel it all in. So,
Okay. Well, it's good because when I was in the industry for many, 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 many years,
you sold us our house in Golden Valley.
I did. And
Yes.
I was known as the spiritual realtor.
Yeah.
And it's because I worked with the energy of the building and the people. Yeah. Because it all works. And we're all energy, as you've said many times. We're all energy. So to work with that and understand how to communicate with it, that's what I do.
And specifically the numerology, because I was just telling the people on here before you popped in how I've done the Myers-Briggs profiles, I've done the disc profiles, I've done the Akashic records, I've had my cards read and all that. But numerology, it was like right on all things, in my opinion. The only thing that was weird was music somehow. And I haven't figured out how the music aligns with my numerology report.
Okay.
I'll figure it out one of these days.
Yeah. Yeah. We're all frequencies. Once you understand your frequency, then you'll understand your music.
Well, there you go. Maybe that's the part that music plays with me, is I just got to realize that it's my music. It's not learning how to play a guitar. Maybe it's my music.
Your music is magic.
There you go. Hence the MagicBrad, right? Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, your music is the magic that you do. We all know who you are. We all listen to your songs. So,
yes, you've told me that many times before. Whenever I'd go to the Edge Expo, it's like, get that wizard guy back out there again.
I know you were born with it. It's your greatest gift. I remember being at your wedding where you had 2 rings appear out of nowhere to get married.
There's one of them.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. So what is your basic take on how numerology could be applied to something like the real estate industry, whether it be an investor or an individual that wanted to buy a house or property somewhere? How would numerology fit into that?
It fits it very well in there. I'm not sure that you were up on what I've been doing with numerology, but I created my own numerology program several years ago that I use to train people with and to use their readings. And one of the parts of the numerology is let's understand the energy of your real estate. So I have a whole section on that. And I use the address of the real estate and the year it's born to help understand what it is. So I was just talking to a fellow coaching him here before I jumped on here, and he's looking at buying this home next to his on the lake in northern Wisconsin. And he said, it feels like the house I want, and here's what I want to get out of my house or out of that house. I want it to be a fun place for us to gather. It's got a whole bunch of bedrooms and so forth, and it's kind of like a little retreat center. And I said, well, what's the address of it? So he gave me the address, and like, oh, it's a number 3. It's about having fun. It's about gathering. It's about social interactions. That's why you're feeling that. And he's like, wow, okay. There's something strange about it. So up in that part of the country, in addition to the numbers, they have a letter in front of it for a fire number.
Sure.
And so we added that letter to it, and that increased the energy to now that, in addition to being a fun place to gather and be creative, it now wants you to understand how to manage and control your life and your organization. And so now it brought a little more of the male energy in along with the female energy. So he's like, this is exactly what I want. So he's going to buy it.
That's interesting. So I got a loaded question for you then.
Okay.
Because you had mentioned like the house, when the house is born.
Yes.
There's all this controversy of when does life begin? Is it at conception or is it at the birth? So when is like a house is conceived, probably like pre-blueprint, and then is it born when they drive the last nail in the porch, or when is the house actually?
It's the
when
day.
you sign it.
It's the day the city or the county says it's ready to occupy. It's the occupancy date.
Interesting.
Just like when we're born. All right, you're a person now. Now take a breath.
Right.
It's your birth.
Fascinating.
So it is. And Pythagoras put all this together a couple thousand years ago. And before that, he did research and found out this program goes back 10,000 years that he could figure out of people using their name and birthday to help us understand what in the heck we're doing here and what are we supposed to be doing and what are our challenges going to be. So,
well, it's interesting with numbers because there's not that many of them.
There's only 9 of them.
Yeah. So it's easy
Sometimes they're put together in different formats like master numbers and karmic numbers. So now we got some more to play with. So, and then there's all kinds of formulas that says, okay, well, this is how you see the world. This is who you are. And this is what you're here to learn. And this is where you're at in life. So there's like 24 formulas that I use to identify, okay, you get all these numbers. What do I do with all that?
This is how people can get a hold of Wes, by the way. That's his website right there.
Yeah, WesHamilton.com. Thank you.
Absolutely. Because it's a fascinating thing to me. I didn't do good in math. I was more of a shop guy, wood class, metal class, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Monica did, I think she used your system possibly to do my numbers.
I think I helped train her on how to use it.
Yeah, because it was like right on with stuff. And I should resurrect that, pull it back out and kind of go over it again, because your perception of things change as time goes on. Even though the document stays the same, your perception of it will change.
It does. And then the timelines change every year and every month and every day. So it's so interesting how if you follow what I call your soul blueprint and give some room for adaptability and flexibility, because things don't always end up exactly word for word as it says. But if you step a few paces back, you'll see that, oh yeah, that happened. It just didn't look like what I was going to do, but that's exactly what happened.
How does that work when you've got the house that's got its code, and then the individual that owns the house that's going to live in it, they've got their thing. And then if they have a spouse and then they have kids, does that kind of really make things complicated when another being comes into the universe?
We can use the word complicated. I like to use the word we're multitasking with our gifts of the numbers. And it's the process I use in companies to help build their teams, because we're not all the same. You get a dozen people on a team.
Right.
Each of them have a dozen different numbers. That's one of the Jewish sayings. That's Meshugana. It makes crazy making. So what I do is teach people using your different gifts in different areas. Now you can understand why that person thinks that way and this person thinks this way. Let's see how we can put together a we program here. So that's what's so fascinating. A couple of years ago, I helped 3 different companies come together. They were all doing parts of a similar kind of a business, and they wanted to know if they should merge. And this, because I was in a real estate meeting, that's how I got to talk to the guy. And he said, I've got an industrial psychologist coming in, and he's going to interview us in over a couple of weeks, and then he's going to give us an answer. I said, my goodness, what is that going to cost you? He said, that's going to cost $5,000. I'm like, whoa. I said, would you like to know tomorrow for $500? So he's like, what are you going to do? So I did my magic with my numbers. 2 of the partners were very compatible. The third one, not so much. And it turned out as they tried to negotiate it, only 2 of them wanted to merge. They were compatible.
Interesting.
Not all people see things the same, and not all people have the same, I guess, goals or actions or intentions. So you've got to see if one person has trust issues and the other person wants to be transparent. Got a lot of work to do to bring those 2 energies together.
Well, I had that situation, with my old business partner with Media Max, and we were doing those expos. We both wanted to do the expo with Rick, but Rick wanted a job. I wanted a company. And it's 2 different things.
Yep.
The way you're going to build this thing out. Are you going to build it out to resell it? Or are you going to keep it going? I had big dreams of like franchising it all out. And he was just trying to sell as many boots as he possibly could and build up that retirement account.
Yeah. So that would have taken a little bit of work to train either one of you, because I know from your ex-business partner, he's pretty much set in his ways.
Yeah, he was, him and Gary Beckman didn't get along real well because they're cut from the same cloth.
Yes, love them both. Yeah. Fun people.
Exactly. Yeah. You had mentioned the team building event, and again, I got this Costa Rica thing going on, and before COVID, I was looking to build an event center down there, and we got it all surveyed out and stuff in the jungle, and got the architectural drawings and all that stuff. So I'm thinking maybe we could resurrect that project. And my buddy Nick, he's got 150 acres down there.
Wow.
So we're looking to do team building type events, and it would be like a retreat where you get away and go into the jungle. And of course, the real estate investing and all that kind of stuff. It would be interesting perhaps to have someone like you to come down and talk about, do you really want to buy this property? Is this the right place to invest in this? Or maybe you should move it a mile to the west or something like that.
Well, there is those kind of energy things that happen. Another tool that Lori and I created 22 years ago is the core passion assessment. I think Mike is trained in that too. So those kind of tools help people understand each other. Is no matter where it's built, how do you come together with the same focus and the same passion to get it done?
Well, that's a good point, that it doesn't matter where it is, but it's how you work with it. And I know she did that because her and I think I did it also. I went through.
Oh, did you? Okay.
I didn't go through the training, but I did the thing.
Sure.
And you end up understanding why certain people, like when Monica and I first started dating, I remember I was driving down the freeway talking to her on the phone, and I jokingly said, if you can tolerate me, and it got quiet on the other end. To me, it's just a joke. Hey, if you can tolerate me. To her, it was like, okay, what's the problem?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Got this stuff going on again. So I had to call her back and go, by the way, something was weird there. I just want to explain myself. I was just joking around. I'm tolerable.
Yes, you do come in with those side comments that only you know the real meaning of.
I'm just joking around, but sometimes people take that seriously. And if you don't know that with the person,
right,
you think, oh, it's no big deal. They're just soft. They can't handle it, whatever. Yeah. And that's probably not the right approach.
No, but as long as we know who you are, Brad, then we just kind of get out our math books and our directories and our dictionaries and try to figure out what you really said.
That's how Monica and I get along so well, because of the understanding each other's numerology and the energy. Because like she does stuff that drives me crazy, but I don't let it drive me crazy because it's her.
That's right.
It's like,
I appreciate the difference.
Why is there Vicks in the Cheez-Its?
Yeah, yeah.
I was going to say, with the purchase of something like a house in real estate, there's a lot of people that are involved with all that. Do you go to the extent of doing the numbers on the broker and the insurance person and all that stuff? Is that not necessary?
It's really not. What you really want to do is align yourself with the energy of the house. And if the house,
those people are just in the process, and once they're done, they're out of the picture.
they're staff members to help you get there. They'll do all the things they need to make it happen. It's kind of like a marriage. It's another form of a marriage. You're bringing people together at a very intimate level with a long commitment. And you really want to know, does the house match you? Or is the house in an area that you want to develop of your own? So not all numbers match up quickly, but all numbers can really respect each other. And that helps you to move into each other's energy. Okay. And as you know about feng shui, there's always a cure for everything. And there's a cure, as they call it, for the numbers, as long as you understand. For instance, the other day I was coaching this lady. No, it was a guy. He just couldn't understand how all of this creative energy that he has. He's a real estate broker, and he's got all this creative energy, but he can't seem to stay focused. And he doesn't want to feel like if he's following a template or a plan, like all the books talk about, will he lose his freedom? So his main number is a 3, and a 3 is all about more and creativity and being very smart and all that. And he's really all those things. The beauty of the numerology is the cure comes from looking at the number on each side of it. So with his 3 number, we looked at what is the 2 energy to help you with? Well, that's about learning patience. He says, what's that word? Not a fan. And then the other side of it was a 4. And the 4 is about being practical and grounded and committed. He's like, well, it sounds like you're talking about a relationship, and I can't stay committed, or girls can't stay committed with me for more than 6 months. And he said, that's the longest. Usually it's 2-3 weeks. So I said, okay, you're trying to learn how to have patience and have a grounded, practical approach to life as you're doing your creative things. So that's what we're working on now. How can I coach him into that? But there are cures or help if you just know what's trying to support you, kind of like 2 people guiding you through life. If
you understand why someone is doing what they're doing, you can kind of forgive them for they know not what they do, or just, hey, that's the way they're cut.
Well, and once we're aware of something, then we got 70% of the problem solved.
Sure. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, Wes, I don't do these real long because I want to keep them like shorter so that people can consume it rather than a 4-hour Joe Rogan episode. So,
okay.
So is there anything that you can share that you like on your website or anything? Is there any like a guide or something to download, or they can just do a discovery call or something with you to learn more about it?
Yep. There's all kinds of those things on my website. Look under trainings or numerology readings, or look under my events where I've been or what I'm doing. There's all those things. And then I don't think it's on my website yet, but I've got a YouTube channel. My name, Wes Hamilton, Master Numerologist. And I've got 30 3-minute videos on there that answers a lot of questions about numerology and why you'd want to use it.
Okay. I'm going to have to look that up myself for sure. Well, I'm going to put you in the green room. If you got time, you want to stick around, we'll have another chat and I'll explain more how I do all this stuff. and
Okay.
fun to catch up a little bit. So,
Okay. Sounds good, Brad. I'll hang out for a little while.
okay, there's some digital hors d'oeuvres in there that are very low-cal and good for you. So go ahead and help yourself.
As long as there's a little wine with it, I'll stay.
Well, there you go, my friend Wes Hamilton. We used to have good times at the Edge Life Expo, I remember, and he was the real estate agent that sold us our first house over in Golden Valley, Minnesota. And this is how you get a hold of him, right there. Dun, dun, dun. His name is Wes Hamilton, and this is what he looks like. I got that on here too. It's right there, Wes Hamilton. Numerology, finding the true you. It's a fascinating thing. Like I said, my wife does that, so. But I'm going to sign this one off. I enjoy doing these things and meeting all these people and spreading the love. So that's all I got for you. Peace, love, and happiness. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be good, be kind, be nice. Did I say be nice? I did. Be nice.